Good morning, Glue Troopers. Today we're going to go over the Horizon Models Atlas, or the Convair SM65D 1/72nd scale plastic model of the Atlas rocket. And this kit, when you open it up, you're going to find 3 runner trees, 2 of the A sprues and 1 of the B sprues. The A sprues, of course, are identical. The B sprue has the one-off parts. This is 1/72nd scale. It has good moldings and good detail. You have to be very careful, though, with some of the steps. Now, the instruction booklet that comes with it is very good, very well printed, and very clear. But there is a front and back to this rocket. And since both of the rocket body halves are the same, you'll look inside and you will see this pattern of semi-pre-drilled out holes. Drill out the ones for the back according to that, and the ones for the front according to that, and don't get them mixed up. It's pretty easy to keep straight. One of the things I did notice about this rocket is, although the instructions are clear and easy to follow and the parts are very well labeled, including the decal sheet and the decal placement, there are still a few gotchas with this kit. One of the things that I noticed was that not only the holes have to be drilled out, but they actually have to be drilled out somewhat larger than what is actually pre-drilled. You'll need your pin vise, and I actually wound up boring them out even more with an X-Acto knife because the pins were actually larger than the pre-drilled holes. I also found fitting was a little bit of a trick because the regular alignment pins appear to be both a little too long and a little too fat to go in the holes. So not only did I have to drill out the holes that it tells you to drill out, I also had to bore out the existing holes for the alignment pins. This plastic's fairly delicate. I scratched it like that accidentally just touching it with the tip of the pin vise. But they are nice moldings. It was a little trickier to align the parts than I thought it would be, but not too bad. It's a good kit. I don't have any major complaints with it. It did not seem to go together quite as easily as the Redstone. Once I got underway, it was a pretty quick build, a lot of fine details. One of the things is that you're going to have to drill out holes for the small vernier thrusters. I am saving those to be mounted after I get the model painted because they're very small and I'm afraid they're going to get knocked off. The points where you're supposed to drill it are actually very well marked, so you won't have any trouble getting that part accomplished. When the rocket halves are put together, there are very noticeable seams. However, a lot of these are covered up by the piping that goes on the outside of the rocket. Now that helps a lot. This rocket has a lot of detail, and it gives you options for several different versions of the rocket, because a lot of people don't realize that Atlases, Redstones, and the like, they were not identical. In fact, there were differences between virtually every one of them. A lot of the stuff was mission specific. They might have larger thruster packs or something like that. The engine bells at the bottom didn't give me too much trouble, but they did give me a little bit of fit issue. There were a couple of times when it was just easier to completely cut off and sand down the alignment pins and simply align the 2 parts together and glue them together. You get the options for 3 different nose cones, and it comes with a stand. Make sure to put a really strong glue bond on the center engine because that's what pushes over the stand, and it's a snug fit. Also, I would warn you that the gates where the styrene's injected in are often on the face of the area that has to be mated, so you have to make sure to clip those off and sand them down. Sometimes they look like alignment pins and they're not. So far, this kit is making an excellent looking rocket. I have high hopes for it. This kit virtually begs to be painted with a metallizer, although I may just use regular aluminum paint on it. That being said, I think it's an excellent kit, but there are these little gotchas I talked to you about. Not exactly a beginner kit, but not hard, not difficult, and so far everything's fit pretty well, so I have no real complaints. Little bit of flash in a few areas, but nothing in any critical areas. Takes all about 10 seconds to carve it off and buff it out. So that's where we're at on this build so far. I'll keep you posted as it goes. These kits tend to retail between $40 and $50, and they're made in Australia. And I'm not sure of any other Australian kit model companies. I think the people at Horizon Models are doing some excellent kits of a subject matter that I absolutely love. A little TLC, a little patience, and you're going to wind up with a really nice model. I think what would really be cool is if somebody was to manufacture the gantries that go with them, but that's getting pretty complicated. Well, that's what I have for right now, guys. Take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.